I have to bring something up. Last night, something happened in the sports world involving a loved one, involving someone who I have not only defended, but I've championed, someone who I've advocated for, someone who I've wanted to see come to Detroit or even Boston. I have to tell you that the last 3 weeks have been an emotional roller coaster for me. And I am ready to possibly validate a statement made by Hatchet in the past that we have mocked in the past, that we made a song about.
He's not that great.
I would like to say that possibly David Hatchet Manhall is correct in his description of DeMarcus Cousins.
Oh, man.
What a day.
That following a trade deadline where it became evident that teams weren't willing to give up much for him, where it became evident that the entire Kings organization, except Vivek Ranadive, wanted him gone years ago, and that now with the Pelicans, things aren't going better, and in fact, it's been a bit of a disaster. Including last night where Boogie told a heckler to suck a duck. Bitch. Suck a duck.
Second dick.
Quack, quack. I wanted to offer this to start the program on a Tuesday that maybe this guy is simply just impossible.
This feels so good.
Man,
today.
this was so many years. But let me just say this, sample size. I know he's in a different place. He's always been a bad dude. You knew that. Even you knew that. Why don't you let this play out a little bit more?
I thought he could be saved.
Mike, you're funny.
Yeah,
no, he couldn't. I watched them Friday when they played San Antonio.
Oh, no.
They were up 4 late, and because of his actions, they lost the game. He had a turnover, he had a foul on Paul Gasol, and they went to overtime and lost because he was upset that he didn't get a call from the ref 2 minutes earlier. It ruined his game. He's not that great. He's just not.
Well,
he can score.
I think he's great.
He's not that great.
He's a loser, though.
He's mentally fragile.
Yeah.
And that ruins the team's chances. I'm right. I'm always right. You know.
Bibber?
Just saying.
Oh, stop it. You're not always right. Behave yourself, man.
I am, Terry.
Get off your high horse, all right?
Okay, you're right. Not the high horse. You're
All
right.
right.
I'm not always right, but most of the time.
You hit this guy in the face with an anvil. He stopped. That was his boy.
I think David was right in this instance, is that nobody was willing to give up much for him.
Right. Exactly.
And that, my friends, that's a telltale sign.
They don't trust him enough.
They don't
just
want to put up with that
trust him.
BS.
My Celtics, Brad Stevens just said, I won't coach him. Like, do you understand how bad that is?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought last night was my breaking point.
Well, maybe Brad Stevens is gone in a year or so, and he becomes a free agent, and you go get Cousins.
Well, why?
Then the next coach won't want him.
Why? Why would you do this?
Maybe Brad Stevens wants actually a GM that makes moves, and then he says, you know what, I'm going somewhere else.
All right, listen. You listen here. We'll see what this summer brings. If we sign Gordon Hayward and have the number 1 pick in the draft, you be quiet in there.
No, listen. I'm going to say this, and I accept your apology,
sorry.
but Terry's right. Don't give up on Boogie yet. Maybe Anthony Davis gets to him. He's been talking to him on the court. At least I saw that a little bit. Maybe he gets to him and he changes Cousins just a little bit so he can focus on what helps the team.
I just thought he'd be so much happier.
I thought he would, too. He's not changed at all.
Not changed at all.
You are what you are. You can't blame everything on the Sacramento Kings, brother.
I mean, that's one of the biggest mea culpas in the history of the show. I mean, I wanted to start Tuesday with that. You got a zillion things to get into. But for years, David and I have battled on DeMarcus Cousins. I'm waving the white flag. I can't do anymore.
Maybe everyone that sends me a tweet every time he does something great can now apologize to me as well.
I don't think that'll happen.
Line them up, brother.
Sorry.
No, don't give up on him yet. He has time.
Yeah, Mike, this is a very, very small sample size. You know he's got issues, so the issues are not going to go away just because he's with a different team. but you need to play this out the rest of the season and next year, see where he is before you throw in the white towel or the white flag. Don't give up yet. Because that was your boy for years.
I know. It's over, though. I'm done. I offered it to David. It's the best I can do. I'm choosing now to jump ship. I'm sorry.
It took you a long time to listen.
I really thought a change of scenery would do it. I thought he'd be a different guy. He's not. So I owe David that to start Tuesday. So here's what we have. We got a lot. And I don't know if we'll get to all of it. But Sully's got this wacky study that says that society's refusal to pay college athletes is a race issue. This is my nightmare. We had a couple of combine all-stars the past couple of days. I want to pit them against each other and force you to draft one of them. I'll tell you who they are and what they did a little bit later. Clay Travis on ESPN's impending collapse, losing $1 billion a year. They are set to shave as much as $100 million in talent payroll. I mean, incredible stuff. You could start with Stephen A. Smith. We have a number of things, including today is National Legal Tampering Day. That's right. The NFL legally allowing teams and agents and players to tamper away. So if Sully or Hatchett get anything from their update desk of players and rumors and coming to an agreement, what you'll hear today is no one will sign because free agency hasn't started. You will hear the term has agreed to terms. And essentially they operate on not a handshake, it's a little deeper than that, but guys will sign today without signing. So keep your eye on it.
A little shady stuff, yeah.
I can't believe they even allow it. But it'll be interesting to see where the Lions go with this. I mean, I know until or if he signs, Dante Hightower's the guy they're connected to. They're not paying a linebacker $12 million a year. I mean, even they aren't that dumb. They need so many other things. I mean, as Terry would say.
So many holes.
There are. They just have too many things to fill.
Mike, they might be dumb enough to want to sign him, but he might be smart enough to say, no, not with you guys.
Yeah, hey, listen. As if they signed an O lineman or a D lineman or a corner as their big move, I'd have zero complaints. But linebacker is still a bit of a luxury. They got to build up the lines, and they got to get some corners, man. That's where I still think that Logan Ryan kid, unless he's agreed to terms here momentarily on tampering day, I still believe that'll be their splash. But let me throw the number out. We'll get to business. We got a lot to cover. 248-539-9797.